Hey guys, I want to do a quick update on, of course, the baby. Here he is in all of his glory. Oh, he's so alert and happy. I actually filmed this video yesterday and he was not alert and not happy in two different clips. And also when I filmed it, I had makeup all over my eyes and did not even realize it. And my hair hadn't been brushed in a while, so I'm going to refilm it. Oh, is he talking? Oh, he's talking to us. What are you saying? What are you saying? I love his little noises. They're so adorable. Anyway, so yeah, me and Ash here are going to chill for a little bit this morning and read, and I'm going to tell you guys all about the books I read in February, because I did actually get to read a few, and then show you the books that I want to read in March, and we'll give you an update again later. Bye. Hey guys, I'm filming a video very quickly while the baby is still asleep. He's got about, 20 minutes left of his nap. I've got this handy dandy app and it tells me, oh look, he's moving right now. Hopefully he will sleep for another 20 minutes and then I will wake him up, because then it will have been 2 hours. So while he's still asleep, let me show you some books that I read in February, because I did actually get around to reading even though I had a baby, and I am hopefully gonna read something in March. I mean, I've read like a few pages so far. So in February, I read really 2 full books, and they are very short, but they were really good, both of them. So the first one I read was Pure Nessie by Susanna Clark. She also wrote Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which is a huge book, and it is about magicians. It was really, really awesome. It is a Netflix miniseries as well. So I loved that book. Like I said, it was huge though, so I thought this one would be interesting because it's much shorter. She's very like sort of literary fiction in style. So I really liked it, being an English teacher. And this is just a super weird book. I honestly don't want to tell you much about it, because the less you know going into it, the better. Basically, it is kind of like magical realism. This man named his name is Pure Nessie. He lives in this house that is like huge, that has so many hallways and statues, and it has oceans in it. And so there's like birds and, you know, all kinds of stuff. And he doesn't know anything else except this house. It's the only place he's ever been. And there is a person called the Other, who's the only other person that he's ever seen in the house. And that's all I really want to tell you. The first half was really mysterious and I had no idea what was going on. At first I thought it was really just kind of silly because it was so weird, but it actually got a lot better as it went on. Until about the second half or so. You get too many answers, honestly. That was my only problem with it. It wraps up everything and tells you exactly what's been going on the whole time. And you're like, well, I kind of like the mystery part of it, and I'd rather it be a little bit more open-ended. But anyway, I would still give it 4.5 stars and highly recommend it. Okay, the next book I read was Solstice by Lawrence Allison. This is the book, I keep talking about it. It's also really short. It's a YA novel about like basically Fire Festival, like a music festival that is not very well planned and goes completely awry. And there's like not enough food or tents or anything like that. You know, they have to sleep in tents, and it was $10,000 a ticket to go to this festival. So you would think it'd be really luxurious, but it's not. But there's a twist. Unlike the Fire Festival, this one also has murder, or at least bodies. There are bodies washing up. So the main character has to kind of figure out what's going on. It says it's called a comic thriller. I don't know that I would say it's comic, but it is a thriller in that you don't know what is killing these people. There's legends of like a sea creature monster thing, in the folklore of this island, which is a very remote island that they're on. And there's these like jellyfish that sting people. And there's people that could be murderers. And so you don't know what is going on. Like, is it supernatural? It's really cool. And at the end, you do get answers, sort of like the other one. But it's really fun. On Goodreads, it got a terrible review, like 3.2 stars or something. But I loved it. So I would highly recommend it. Oh, and I would probably give it like 4 stars because I was really entertained. Okay, I had 2 more books that I read over half of and I DNF'd. The first one is Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Corey. As I've said, this is 2 different authors writing together. One of them is George R.R. Martin's assistant. So this book is called like basically Game of Thrones if it were sci-fi and set in space. But I don't think it's anything like Game of Thrones. I did not like the writing, the characters, the plot was vaguely interesting, and that was about it. So I read about 350 pages of this thing. So probably almost 2/3 of this book, something around there. And that's how much I didn't care. I didn't care about finishing it. It is a whole series called The Expanse. I've heard it does get better. I've also heard the TV show, which is on Amazon Prime, is amazing. And they say that each season gets better in it as well. Hold on, checking the baby. Okay, we're good. We got 16 minutes to go before he's got to wake up. All right. So, yeah, it was not very good. My plan is to watch the TV series and see if I like it any better. Basically, it's about 2 main characters, and it goes back and forth between their points of view in every other chapter, which I found kind of boring and repetitive because it's like, okay, now it's this character, now it's that one, this one, that one, this one, that one. And you just knew which character was gonna be next, and they tried to have cliffhangers at the end of every chapter, but it's like I just didn't really care. Game of Thrones, of course, has way more point of view characters, and I think this one gets more as the series progresses. Like book 2 has 3 or 4 point of view characters, so it might be a little more interesting. But one of the characters is the commanding officer, it says, of an ice miner who is making runs to the belt, from Saturn to the mining stations of the belt, like the asteroid belt. And he finds this derelict ship and has to kind of figure out what happened there, basically. And he kind of accidentally sort of starts a war in space. And the other main character is a detective who is looking for a girl whose parents hired him to find her. And he is led to the same ship that the other guy found, and it says the girl may be the key to everything. It says it deals with the Earth government, outer planet revolutionaries, and secret corporations. I wish I got to more of like that part of it, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the book was just kind of all over the place. Like sometimes it was about the characters, and all of a sudden one character had romantic feelings for another one, and they didn't before, and it was just really out of the blue. And I'm like, why are we talking about this? Shouldn't we be talking about this giant war that we just started? Or I don't know. It was very weird. And I like the noir aspect of it. It was a very detective-y noir kind of story with the detective part, which was cool. But I didn't care about the character. You know, it was like, oh, this world could be really interesting, but the characters are not. So, you know, here we are. So giving up, can't rate it, but maybe I'll try the TV show. I'm going to keep the book since I bought it and come back to it later. The other book I DNF'd was Bloody Rose by, I believe it's Nicholas Eames. It was the sequel to Kings of the Wild. I listened to it as an audiobook. I got over halfway through, and I didn't even like it as well as Kings of the Wild. Everybody said it was better. As you saw from one of my previous videos, I thought Kings of the Wild was just really okay. It was just very mediocre. It was kind of a fun little story, but I honestly read it while my husband was playing video games and I was watching him. I could literally multitask and like listen to him play games while I was reading the book because it was just really an easy read. And of course it was like a Viking inspired novel about this band of older people, you know, older warriors that have to get back together and do one last mission. It was very similar to the movie Red with Bruce Willis, if you've seen that. I keep saying that, but it really is, except they're Vikings. So anyway, I DNF'd Bloody Rose, didn't care about much that was happening in it, and I don't think I will be going back to that series anytime soon. There are 2 books I'm kind of in the middle of, and that is Memnoch the Devil by Anne Rice. I'm still 130 pages in, 5th book in the series, randomly decided to read it because I did that Anne Rice tier ranking video, and I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna see how this, how this plays out. And see if, sorry, I had to stop and smell it. See if it is as, bad as well, it's not bad. If I didn't like it as much as I used to. Like I really disliked it in the beginning when I first started reading Anne Rice, but I was also really young. So I was going to see if my opinion changed. I hope to keep going with that this month, but it's like, I have this cute little baby, and do I really want to be like, oh, cute little baby, and then read Memnoch the Devil? It's like, it's not very fitting, and I'm very much a mood reader, so I'm going to read a book that more suits my mood, I think. All right, so the baby is starting to stir. He may be in the video soon if he wakes up. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got 12 minutes. I'm also in the middle of Legendborn. I say the middle of, it's not. I'm like 10 pages in, or like 1 chapter in or something. It's not very far, I promise. Gosh, it was not even that far. How far? What page am I on? Yeah, I'm somewhere around page 10. I'm listening to this one on audiobook, but I have the physical book from my library as well, the school library, if I need to read it. So it is the one I told you about before, about a girl in high school who does a program in college at University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Her mother has just died, so apparently it's a lot about her processing her grief. And I don't really want to read that part of it because like I said, I want to read very uplifting, happy things, I guess, because of my mood right now with the baby. And anyway, but when she gets there, she discovers a magical society called Legendborn, who are descended from like Merlin and King Arthur and like Knights of the Round Table and stuff. And so she's descended from, I think, King Arthur himself, maybe? Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so but it's an urban fantasy, so it's set in the real world, but with these fantastical elements. And I love King Arthur stuff, so I am really intrigued. And I've heard nothing, honestly, but really good things. I don't think I've heard one negative review about this book, so I am going to keep going with this one. Okay, 2 books I would like to read in March, we'll see if I get to them, are The 10,000 Doors of January by Alexi Harrow. I've heard a lot about this book. It's an author from Kentucky, which, as you can see, you know, Kentucky, that's where I'm from. So I thought that was really cool. And it is set sometime in like maybe the turn of the century kind of or something. And it's about a girl named January who is a ward of this man who lives in this giant house. And she is largely ignored, so she feels out of place. And she finds a strange book, one that tells a tale of secret doors of love, adventure, and danger. For the first time, January realizes she can escape her story and sneak into someone else's. Sounds kind of magical realism, sounds kind of weird, kind of reminds me of Piranesi, kind of sounds like Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe or something, but I've heard nothing but good things about this book. Books with Brittany, is that what it's called? I think that's her channel. Yeah, she talks about this book all the time. It's one of her favorite books, and I'm going to give it a try. And sorry I'm talking so fast, but the baby has 9 minutes to go now, so I'm trying to get this done. All right, so I also, if I get time, if for some reason I get done with this book in March, which, oh my gosh, if I could even read 1 book in March, it'd be amazing. But then I want to start The Blade itself. Nothing like going from fun, whimsical fantasy to apparently just dark, dark, twisted fantasy. This is basically like, what I've heard is that it's Game of Thrones if there was dark humor in it. So it's called The Blade Itself by Joe Abercrombie. It's the first book in the First Law trilogy, which is apparently very famous on BookTube. Everybody talks about it. I bought this first book during that little book haul that I did, and I'm just going to give it a try. I know nothing about it except 2 things, which is 1, that there's like an executioner character, because there's different points of view. I know that too. But one of the characters is an executioner, and he's really apparently everybody's favorite, and he's funny, and I already forgot his name. If I could find it, I would tell you. Glotka. Yeah, that's his name. And everybody loves him. The other thing I know about this is that there's hardly any plot in the first book. I know that it picks up in books 2 and 3, but that this one is pretty much all character driven. And I mean, there's really honestly apparently not hardly anything that's actually happening, which I'm fine with. I feel like a lot of times in like the Vampire Chronicles that's the case. And I'm totally fine with that as long as I like the characters and the writing style. And from what I hear, the dark humor, the writing style is amazing. So I think I'm going to like this. I don't want to get my hopes up, but they are up a little bit. So we're going to find out. And finally, I started reading an ebook on my phone, like when I'm holding the baby and I can't actually hold a physical book, and I read it. I just read it out loud to him. And it's called The Ghost of Savo. I can't remember the author's name. Hopefully it'll be here on the screen. It's like this paranormal, turn of the century thing about, if you know anything about Savo and the Ghost in the Darkness movie, like the lions in Africa that killed people, I think around the turn of the century. You just have to go look it up. I don't want to get into the whole story, but when I filmed this video yesterday, because I did film this video before, but I also had not brushed my hair and had makeup all over my eyes, so I am refilming it. Anyway, this book is really fun. It's really short. It's like 250 pages, and it's a whole series. I think this is the first one. But it follows this woman. Honestly, I have already forgotten her name. I was really half asleep when I started reading it. That was when I was getting less sleep. I'm getting more sleep now, so that's good. Like I slept 7 hours off and on last night, so that was pretty good for having a 3-week-old baby. Anyway, I keep getting off track. Yeah, woman goes to Africa. There's paranormal stuff. There's also the lions killing people. Yeah. Go look up the movie The Ghost in the Darkness, because it's about those, the real lions in real life. It's like 2 male lions that killed like tons of people just for sport in the, I think it was early 1900s. when they were trying to build this railroad in Africa, and they had to get an expert to come in and try to hunt them down and kill them. So the movie, that's what the movie is about, and it's really, really like intense. Anyway, this woman though, apparently this book's pretty funny. She, like, her boss is a werewolf or something, and she can, it says something about werewolves can be defeated with a pot of tea, and so it's very like high society. There's like tea and things like that, and it said it's very like it's like if Jane Austen wrote a paranormal novel because of the writing style too. So I'm really intrigued. Oh, I hear little baby noises. Oh, he's got 6 minutes, but he's really squirming. So I better go. Anyway, I hope to read some of these books. We'll find out. Fingers crossed. Wish me luck. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. And I just want to do a little outro. We're back in the same position. Just different outfit. Dressed for the day here with our little Mickey outfit. Waiting on the in-laws to come, actually. They're going to come babysit from a couple hours away. And I'm going to go to the mall and the bookstore. And I might try to buy Sinlin of Sins. That's the plan. I'll let you guys know if I can buy it. I didn't tell you about that, but I do want to read Sinlin of Sins by Josiah Bancroft. Oh, what is it? Oh, my gosh. Because it looks like magical realism, and I'm into really weird stuff like Piranesi and 10,000 Doors of January, and I want something kind of different and weird, so here we are. All right. Say bye. Oh, he kind of said bye. He said something. Tell everybody bye. No. Oh my gosh, it sounded like bye. That was the best thing ever. All right. Well, with that, I will see you guys later. Bye.